It's really important, though, to get into this isn't just about right-wing conspiracies or something, far to the left, because just yesterday, Mike Bloomberg's campaign played a doctored video from the debate. His campaign posted it. I want to share it.
I'm the only one here that I think that's ever started a business. Is that fair?
Now, that wasn't true. Crickets. That was obviously there for a dramatic effect. The campaign has said it was tongue-in-cheek. But when somebody sends you that clip from the debate, that looks really good for the mayor and it looks really bad for everyone else, and it's not true.
Right.
Would content like that get flagged as misinformation?
We actually reached out to Twitter about this specific thing, and they said, yeah, this is a good example. This is something that, we would flag as not real.
We are in the midst of some of the most blatant, censorious behavior by big tech that the world has ever seen. And it's only going to get worse in the next 6 months or so, running up into the 2020 presidential election. This video is an important topic to me. And I realize that I have newer followers, maybe who aren't in the know necessarily about where I lean politically and all that stuff. Well, it doesn't matter. And I don't care where you lean politically. I never have. I want everyone to watch my videos. I don't view people solely on who they choose to vote for. I think people are far more complex than that, and I would never destroy a friendship or even a good conversation with a stranger over who they choose to vote and where they lean politically. I hope that many of my followers or viewers, I don't like using the word follower, viewers here on YouTube will understand that and embrace that, because life is short. And while some may view this video as a defense of a particular candidate, it isn't. It is a rebuking. It is a call for your help to share what's going on here. Leaving a like and a comment on this video and then putting it out on Twitter or Facebook or, God forbid, Reddit. I hope you'll be inspired to do so, because what is happening in big tech in terms of censorship right now is disgusting and needs to stop. In 2018, the CEO of Reddit was quoted as saying, quote, by the way, their CEO, Steve Huffman, said, "I'm confident that Reddit could sway elections," Huffman told reporter Annie Marinance. "We wouldn't do it, of course. And I don't know how many times we could get away with it. But if we really wanted to, I'm sure Reddit could have swayed at least this election, this once." This is the power, unfortunately, that some of these social media or social networks have. But their owners absolutely do choose to use this to further their own agendas. Ask yourself, where do you think Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, if they had to, which side would they pick? Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just pointing out the fact that every major social media network is on the same side and has a long history of enforcing one-sided regulations on posts. This is Facebook. This is Twitter in the most obvious. And right now, Reddit is doing what is perhaps the boldest political censorship in history. The Donald is one of the most influential subreddits in the world. You could argue it is the most influential subreddit in the United States. It has nearly 800,000 members, but is extraordinarily effective at memetics. If you don't think memes are powerful, look at what today's presidential candidates are doing. You had the disaster that was the Elizabeth Warren meme dream team, which was laughed out of existence within about 30 seconds. You have OK Bloomberg. Bloomberg.
Okay, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer. Okay, Boomer. Yeah, Boomer. Whatever you say.
You have him deploying memes. And in fact, actually copyright striking YouTube channels who critique his memes. In 2016, yes, the general populace probably wasn't really exposed to memes. Maybe, but a large portion of it was. And certainly it was effective. One of the reasons that Trump won the online battle was because his supporters were just better at memes. They were better at marketing for their side. Whether you're on the left or right, you've got to admit that if you're being honest with yourself. So modern day candidates know this. Social media's networks know this. They know they lost the meme battle. Anyone with any sense knows that. And they know it's going to be more and more important as things go down the line. Now, when the Donald was first quarantined, and by quarantining, essentially you're removing a subreddit from interacting with other subreddits and things like that. And again, this isn't just an endorsement of the Donald, okay? But understand that Reddit said that they were quarantined because they had made unscrupulous remarks about the police. The Donald. Like, the Donald is getting accused. I mean, of course they didn't. Nobody believed that, but they did it anyway. And so this week, they've started to do even more. They have begun to remove the moderators. All right? Here's the message that was sent to the mods from admins at Reddit. Dear mods, we're writing you to discuss the status of our Donald. In the 7 months since we placed the initial quarantine on your community, we have not seen any sort of changes that we would need to lift it, and have not found the current back and forth appeals process effective. While we believe that those of you receiving this message have acted in good faith to bring your community in line with our policies, other moderators have not. They have harassed Reddit employees, stickied rule-breaking content, and generally undermined progress. Today, we removed moderator privileges from those modders. So essentially, they have removed mod power to install their own moderators. And on top of that, by the way, what is even more nefarious about this is without moderators now to protect and keep things in line in our Donald, what will happen is detractors will come in and start posting rule-breaking content. And they won't have any moderators to stop it. This is clearly outlined on the Donald.win, which is like their alternative, basically, to Reddit. And a lot of people would say, hey, just leave. I don't believe that is the correct thing to do. It's the reason I didn't leave Twitter and that I've returned to Facebook. I think I was incorrect in removing myself from those conversations. We have to stay and fight as long as we can. They put out this post on the Donald.win. We've put our subreddit in restricted mode. We've temporarily put the subreddit into restricted mode. This means only moderators and a few other approved members are able to post. After removing a majority of our moderators and causing a ton of drama, it goes without saying that we cannot keep the community properly moderated, which was their plan. Win remains open and will be receiving our full attention. This is exactly what I believe to be the truth, is that they removed the moderators so that people could move in and brigade the subreddit and they could finally delete it. You're talking about 800,000 members here that are extraordinarily powerful in the meme conversation. Between them and Poll, they do control a large part of the narrative. Now, they've removed some moderators, and now they've opened up a job listing. That's right. Apply here to become a mod of the Donald. We've recently removed a number of mods from our Donald that were approving, sticking, and generally supporting content in the subreddit that breaks our content policy. This is like installing your own leadership. This is exactly what's happened here. We recognize that the remaining mod team will need additional help moderating. So here today, we're here to help them recruit some new members. We'll be vetting applications. Oh, wow. Thanks, Reddit. To qualify, you must be in good standing with our safety team, have at least 1,000 total karma, have at least 5,000 karma in our Donald, and not have more than 500 karma in quarantined subreddits aside from the Donald, or subreddits banned for rule violations. So if you have ever associated even with a subreddit that we have arbitrarily deemed quarantined or in need of quarantine, even if you didn't participate in any rule breaking, you are not qualified to be a mod. And then let's see some of the top comments. Get effed. How about the second top comment? No, F you and F your fascist rules and vetting. I hope you all get charged with election interference by the feds and sued into oblivion via class action lawsuits, censorship, and freedom of speech. And this, by the way, is layered on top of brand new Reddit policy, which can have you suspended simply for upvoting or downvoting content that is rule breaking. Here's Reclaim the Net. Reddit purges half the Donald's top moderators and plans to replace them with Reddit approved mods. One of the Donald's former top moderators suggested this decision will end the subreddit. Ever since becoming one of the most popular subreddits on the site, the Donald has been facing mounting censorship at the hands of Reddit admins. And now, in a move that one of its top users is suggesting will end the subreddit, users of the Donald are reporting that half of the top moderators have been purged and will be replaced by Reddit-approved moderators. The Reddit admins also wrote that they have started enforcing a new rule around upvoting that were announced yesterday and have already warned users against upvoting. That's how censorious this is. Reddit announces its new now may suspend users simply for upvoting policy breaking content. Here's the policy. While I have your attention, I'd like to share an update about our thinking around quarantined communities. When we expand our quarantine policy, of course you're going to expand it, we created an appeals process for sanctioned communities that they probably never win. One of the goals was to force subscribers to reconsider their behavior and incentivize moderation to make changes. While the policy attempted to hold moderators more accountable for enforcing healthier rules and norms, it didn't address the role that each member plays in what is healthy in the community. So moderators censoring content was just not enough censorship.
Can you do me one favor? Can you say, I ate lunch at Google?
I ate lunch at Google.
I don't know why. I just went, I ate lunch at Google. I feel like I'm at a Beatles jam session.
Serious crap! It's not funny!
This is The Purge.
Today we're making an update to address the gap. Users who constantly or consistently upvote policy-breaking content within quarantined communities will receive automated warnings followed by further consequence like a temporary or permanent suspension. We hope this will help encourage healthier behavior across these communities. What? The beatings will continue until morale improves. And I'm not going to run on for 30 minutes about this. I'm just going to wrap this up here. Text censorship is real. When you're considering who you're going to vote into office, even at the lowest positions of local government, you need to make sure that they're aware of this. Because it's easy for, let's say, a third of the country to say, ha 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 ha, well, it's not happening to my people. Trust me, one day it will. One day you'll be one of the people out here trying to push it back against censorship. And because you didn't join the fight today, because you didn't push back today, we'll all be gone. We won't be able to help you. That's what these people want. I know it sounds dystopian. I know it sounds extreme, but I'm serious. Get this message out there. What Reddit is doing is unacceptable. You need to put this out on Twitter and tag. Outside of Ted Cruz, I rarely see, and maybe Tulsi Gabbard, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. Tag your politicians. This is pure and simple election meddling, and it needs to stop. I hope you were informed and entertained by this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.